Hi, my name is Alexi Beck Gray, and I'm the Director of Training here at Opto 22. In this screencast, I'm going to demonstrate OptoDataLink, an application that lets you easily exchange data between databases and the SNAP PAC system. Let's get started.
First, here's an overview of what OptoDataLink can do. Simply put, OptoDataLink can transfer data from a variety of sources and destinations. For example, you might wish to log data from your SNAP PAC controller and send it to an ASCII file, a database such as Microsoft SQL Server or Access, another controller, or even all of these destinations simultaneously. Or perhaps you want to send a recipe file, or set points from a database, or variable values in a pack control strategy to another SNAP PAC controller. All of these things are easy to configure using OptoDataLink. OptoDataLink is included with Opto 22's PAC Project Professional software suite, or if you're using free PAC Project Basic, you can purchase OptoDataLink separately. Here's the OptoDataLink interface. A data link simply specifies how and when information is collected. To configure one, I just need to answer the 4 questions on this form: the link's data source, destination, timing, and dependencies. I want to log data from my SNAP PAC controller, so my data will come from an Opto 22 device. Now I need to choose the data to log. I'll click Add Tag. I'll click Edit and select the PAC control strategy running on my PAC. This brings up a browser that shows all the control variables, I/O points, and other data tags that I can choose from. These were all created in PAC control, so I don't need to retype tag names. I'll choose regular fuel level reading, and I'll click Use Tag. I want to add another tag, so I'll click Add Tag and then Edit. This time, I'll select I/O unit, and I'll choose Direct so that my data comes directly from the I/O and not the controller. I'll choose Store Temperature and EU for engineering unit. Now I need to choose the destination. OptoDataLink currently supports sending data to databases, SNAP PAC controllers and brains, or an ASCII file. I want to send it to a file. I'll click Browse and select a file name. OptoDataLink will create the file if it doesn't exist, and it will append the data to the file if it does. I can log the data at a given time of day or at a set interval. I'll type in 5 seconds. I can also control what triggers data logging, but for now, I'll always log the data. Now I need to save this data link information in a configuration file. I'll click Save, and I'll type in a file name. My link name here is currently black. I'll click Run and notice that the link turns green. I'm logging data, or OptoDataLink is. I'll let it run for a few seconds, and then we'll go look at the data. Here in Windows Explorer, I'll double-click on the file. OptoDataLink logs the data in a comma-separated variable format, and it automatically adds a time and date stamp. Now let's go back to OptoDataLink. I'll stop logging data, and you'll see the color of the link changes from green to black. I can rename this link by slowly clicking on it twice. I'll call it Log Data. OptoDataLink can send the same data to more than one destination, so let's do that. I'll click Add here. This time I'll select Database and then Access. I'll browse for my database and select it. If I were using a server database, I'd probably take advantage of this test button to verify communications. In my database, I already set up a table named Store Data, so I'll type that in here. I want to log 2 tags, so I'll need to add 2 columns. I'll type in the names of the fields or columns that I used in my database. One is Reg Fuel, and the other one is Temp. Now let's click Run to start logging data. I'll show you what the database would look like after a few minutes. Here's Access, and I'll open my Store Data table. OptoDataLink automatically logs the fuel reading and the temperature. I added the date and time fields to Access and configured it to get the current date and time. Now, what if I wanted to send a recipe or initialize tables or send new set points from my database? Not a problem. I created another table for this purpose. In this example, I have a set points table. It only has one field in it because I just want to send a new low limit. I also created a Handshakes table that I can use to control when data is sent to my pack. Back in OptoDataLink, I'm going to add another link to my configuration file to get the data from the table. I'll click Create a new link. I'll give this new link a name, perhaps Set Limit. Remember that a configuration file can contain multiple links. This time, the data is coming from a database. I'll select Access, and I'll browse for my database. The table name is Set Points. I only have one record, so I don't need to select a column to determine the order of the data being sent. I want to write to a pack this time, so I'll select Opto 22 device. I'll click Add Tag and Edit. I'll select the strategy running on my pack. And now I'll expand the Variables and Numeric Variables folder. Now I can select the regular fuel low limit, and I'll click Use Tag. This time, I'll have the data flow depend on a condition. This feature is actually pretty powerful. For example, I could have data triggered either by a database condition or a flag in my control strategy. I'll choose Database, and I'll choose Access. I'll browse for my database. Next, I'll type in the name of my table, which is Handshakes. And I'll type in the name of the field I want to use, which is LL Handshake. I'm going to check this box so the value is only sent once, and I'll check this box so the handshake value will be reset back to 0. Now I'll click Run. Note that OptoDataLink starts running all the links in my configuration file. If I want to pause one of them, I can reconfigure that link. I just changed the Depending On field to Not Yet. Now let's go look at the current value of my regular fuel low limit in pack control. You can see it's currently 1,000 gallons. Now we'll go back to my database, to the Handshakes table, and I'll type 1 here to enable the database handshake. After a short pause, the value will go back to 0. This is because I checked the box to have OptoDataLink reset the handshake. Now let's go back to pack control. You can see the value has changed. Okay, great. Now that I'm done, I'll go back to OptoDataLink and click Stop. One more cool thing about OptoDataLink is that the data links run separately as a Windows service. That means you can exit the OptoDataLink application and even log off from the Windows user account, and the data will still be collected when scheduled.
Thanks for watching my introduction to OptoDataLink screencast. For more information, click on one of the links below. And be sure to check out the other tutorials and screencasts in the Learn section of our website. See you next time.